Welcome to 2K Sports. We've got NBA basketball for you. I'm Damon Bruce. Friday.
The starting fives for our game. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First for Houston, and in the backcourt, Jeremy Lin along with James Harden. And at center, the most dominant physical presence in the NBA, the elite defensive big man, Dwight Howard. Then there's Chandler Parsons, and it's Ashik in at the 4 slot. And for Atlanta, Jeff Teague and Lou Williams, the backcourt. And holding down the middle, a tremendously hard-working and versatile big man out of the Dominican Republic, Al Horford. Then there's Kyle Korver, and it's Millsap in at the 4.
You know, he might not have been able to improve on his numbers from the breakout Linsanity season, but Jeremy Lin last year proved that he's no flash in the pan. He's a starting caliber point guard in the NBA. Good way to start the game there. I mean, that's a nice inside bucket.
No question, Clark. I think they'd like to establish a presence down low early in the game to get their offense going.
Teague gets a screen from Horford. Teague, the pass to Horford. Williams. Horford sets a screen for Williams. Teague for 3, and it's good. Assisting on the play with Williams. Teague's got his first 3 points of the game. And for Jeremy Lin, knee surgery going into last season, he wasn't 100% when the season started.
Well, we did see his scoring and shooting improve as the season wore on and as he got healthier.
Here's the Hawks with the ball. Here's Korver. Dwight Howard pulls it in. Now it's sent it over to Doris Burke, who was able to talk with Kevin McHale.
He talked about the impact that Al Horford can have on a game and how they'll have their work cut out for them dealing with him. He said Horford's just a complete ball player. He does all the things you want from a big man. He can shoot, handle, and pass. He's always a tough matchup, but it starts with matching his energy level. Kevin will see if they have what it takes.
Thanks again, Doris.
Hawks were pretty solid against the Western Conference, splitting the 30 games they played 15-15. And if you do that against the West, when you're an Eastern Conference team, usually you're going to make the playoffs, and the Hawks did as a 6th seed.
Harden dishes to Howard. Back to Harden. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. And for the Hawks against the West, as Clark was talking about earlier, 15-15. It might sound a ho-hum, but Steve is actually the 4th best record against the West of all teams in the East.
Well, look, the West, we know that the more dominant conference. I think 15-15 is a pretty solid record for Atlanta. So they had a good showing last year against the West.
Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
Yeah, but neither team really able to jump ahead.
There are 5 times already the lead was changed.
Kevin, just enough presence to bother that 3-point attempt there.
Well, for a guy that shoots like he does, I mean, I'd say that is an easy look.
Backing down is Howard. Lin. And that comes off the assist by Dwight Howard. Lin's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Teague gets to Korver. No good with the triple.
Well, Mike Budenholzer, you know, the new coach of the Hawks, spent 19 years with the San Antonio Spurs, including 17 as an assistant. Well, you couldn't ask for a better teaching ground than that.
Well, Parsons was really a surprise coming out of Florida. Had a big impact his rookie season with Houston. Very reliable in a lot of areas. Can handle the ball, can knock down a long-range shot, and a better defender than you think as well.
That is what makes Parsons such an easy guy to set down on the floor. You know exactly what he's going to give you on offense, and is very consistent. In the pass to Parsons. Good. Parsons got 5. And back to Budenholzer, who was with the Spurs for 19 years. Steve, the Spurs, the winningest team in pro sports over the last 15 years.
Yeah, I'm glad that Budenholzer has finally gotten his chance. I played for him for 4 seasons. He's a guy who loves the game. He's very dedicated, hardworking, and has learned from probably the best coach in the NBA during his time in San Antonio.
Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for the Rockets.
What a great hustle defensively through 2 quarters of play, contesting everything, starting to rack up those block shots, guys.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle.
Houston making some changes. Monty Eunice is checked in for Howard. Smith comes in for Omer Ashik. And Terrence Jones is subbed in for Chandler Parsons. Offensively, no buckets yet in the game for him. That is good.
DeMarre Carroll, a.k.a. the junkyard dog, an athletic, hustling small forward. But I like the way he's improved at the offensive end. I mean, his shooting was really a question for him when he came out of Missouri. But you can tell he's put in a lot of work, and it's paying off.
Here's Beverly. Dishes it to Smith. Lets it go from the wing. And it's Houston with another.
I couldn't have dreamt of a much better start than what they've had here today.
Everything's worked, especially offensively, and what a lead they have already to show for it.
Now here's Teague. The feed to Jenkins. Passes it to Horford. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3. And DeMarre Carroll last season earned the most consistent minutes in his NBA career.
Yeah, he seems to be turning the corner and proving that he's going to stick around. Good size, athleticism, toughness, really a hustle and energy guy. But his shooting has improved, and that's been key for him.
Schroeder, he's checked in for Atlanta. Now here's Jones. Outside, Garcia. Shot clock at 6. And some nice passing there by Houston. That's good.
They've got themselves in front with some outstanding shooting right off the bat.
Yep, it's been a clinic at that end of the floor, no question.
Schroeder kicks to Carroll. Pass to Horford. It's rebounded by Moniunas. Rockets leading by 9. Jones drives in. There's 37 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Kicks to Garcia. Houston needs to get a shot off. 14 feet away. Jones, no luck.
And you know why he was open there. They didn't commit too much defense to him, and you can see why. He has trouble making that shot.
Carroll dishes to Jenkins. And there's the pass to Schroeder. Jenkins takes a 3. No luck. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Rockets lead. Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. Let's quickly break down the game we've seen so far from the Rockets, guys.
And it's really been a dominant effort on the glass. That's been the key here.
Yeah, they've established nice low post presence, which always tends to help you on the rebounding battle.
Harden the pass to Smith. Millsap on him. They get a hand on it. And so it looks like the Rockets will retain possession here.
You know, the Rockets did a lot to make over their backcourt last season as they brought in 2 big names in Jeremy Lin and James Harden. And that's not always an easy adjustment. It took a little time for both of those guys to figure out how to coexist in the pick-and-roll offense.
The Hawks trail by 12. Schroeder kicks to Williams. Pass to Schroeder. He dishes it to Brand. Working on Howard. Tries from 10. Brand, good. Brand's got his first basket. And Clark, as you said, it took some time for this Houston backcourt to learn how to play with each other, but that is the case for any duo. Eventually, Steve, they found a happier medium, and that initiated some great offense between them.
Well, they were much more effective down the stretch last season, Kevin, and I thought it really showed in the way Lin and Harden kind of played off of each other. So, you know, a lot of teams, they seem to want to have that second option for bringing the ball up or for attacking, and it is very effective to have a couple of guys who can each attack and create.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, guys, for Dwight Howard, a perfect fit with head coach Kevin McHale. So often, head coaches are former point guards, but in McHale, a Hall of Fame power forward. Howard has a coach he can quite literally see eye to eye with. And McHale is one of the all-time great post-up scorers. And for Dwight Howard, he said that was the biggest reason for his decision to come to Houston, saying, quote, "I felt he could really help me develop in the post." Guys, back to you.
You don't see many great back-to-the-basket big men these days, Doris. He's one of the best, certainly. The Hawks trail by 13. Schroeder passes to Porter. Here's Schroeder, guarded by Harden. He'll set up a screen on Lin. Williams for three. Again, Williams missing.
A lot of high hopes for what Lou Williams could do with a new team last year. It really started off quickly with Atlanta, had some good games, but eventually the season went down the drain with that knee injury in January.
Shoots a fader. That one off the back iron and out.
That's a huge part of what they want to do defensively. Limit his easy chances inside.
Outside, Lynn. Right side, Lynn. And he banks in the layup. Lynn's got 8 points. And for Williams' quickness, a big part of his game. We'll see how the knee affects his game, Clark.
You know, it normally takes a year or so to get back to playing, 2 years to get back to 100%, but he signed to a very cap-friendly contract, so Atlanta may be able to weather his loss until he's back to his old self.
Smith checked in for the Rockets. Back to Teague. Teague gets a screen from Williams. Here's Korver for three. It's rebounded by Houston. Outside, Lynn. On the wing, Jones. He kicks it to Smith. Millsap on him. Smith against Millsap. Ball's knocked loose. And so it looks like the Rockets will retain possession here. Al Horford, he's checked in for Elton Brand. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Harden's shot is good.
This looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
Yeah, I don't know, Clark. I think there might be even more defense in warm-ups. I mean, this is kind of embarrassing.
Now here is Horford. He feeds it to Williams. He passes to Teague. Horford. There's a whistle. Goes on Terrence Jones. That's his first foul.
Hey, you know, these calls can be some of the toughest in the game for the officials.
It all happened so fast, but I really think that was the right call. The defender was not really set in that situation.
On defense, Houston. 18 points separating the teams. That's the biggest lead of the game. And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That's his first foul.
Second team foul.
Teague dishes to Millsap. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Here is Harden. 7 points in the game.
You know, if you're in a fight to get into the playoffs out west like the Rockets were last season, you have to make sure you get every win you can when you play against the Eastern Conference. Their success against the Eastern Conference was a big part of how they squeezed that 8th seed.
Now here's Jones. 6 to shoot. Harden can't hit.
Boy, he got a nice looking stroke. That almost went in.
Yeah, a lot of times he'll hit that shot regardless of the defense.
Williams kicks to Teague. Horford guarded by Harden. There's the dish to Williams. Korver back to Williams. Oh, good on the three. Well, Clark, you were talking about the Rockets against the East, a record of 21-9 against the conference. And Steve, it was one of the better marks in the West.
Yeah, it was the same win total as the Clippers and Thunder, who both won their divisions. So, only the Spurs and Grizzlies did better in that regard. And the Rockets were full of scoring potential, and I think just happened to catch teams in the East off guard a little bit.
Off his leg, and the ref saying he kicked it. Eunice is checked in for Smith. There's 53 seconds left in the first half. Poke loose. Williams attacking. Shot clock at 5. Stolen by Jeremy Lin. On the wing, Harden. Deflected. Outside Teague. Hawks making a switch here. Jenkins checked in. .34 seconds left to play here in the half. Back to Horford. And Ashik sends it back. Wow! Out of bounds. Houston takes possession. 24 seconds left in the first half of the game. Harden with it. 7 points in the game. And Beverly kicks to Harden. And some nice passing there by Houston. 6 on the shot clock. Good work defensively by Millsap.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get too many better looks from that range.
A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close.
And now, brought to you by Sprint. Thanks for tuning into the Halftime Report. Out in it, the Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. An exceptional performance from Lynn.
Seemed like he made everything he got. I mean, anytime he had an open look, he took advantage of the opportunity there in that first half.
And Steve, they were all good looks. I mean, his shot selection has been terrific throughout the game.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Gentlemen, James Harden led the NBA last season, averaging over 8.5 made free throws per game. He's one of the masters at drawing contact and said, quote, "It gives me confidence to get some easy free throws and open up my entire game. I just try to be aggressive and get to the basket. It opens up my jump shot and opens up my teammates with defenders helping off." Guys, the Rockets more than happy running their offense through James.
Well, it certainly seems like a smart move for him. Thanks, Doris.
Well, you look at the relationship between Dwight Howard and Kobe Bryant, and, you know, from a distance, it just appeared as though they weren't always on the same page, and that's understandable. I mean, two guys of that caliber, Kobe Bryant, a multi-time NBA champion, Dwight Howard coming off injury, trying to figure out how to make things work. Kobe always laser focused and serious. Dwight more of a playful type of personality. You could understand why it might have taken them some time to get on the same page.
And Steve, going back to that difference in temperament, some teams are more fun-loving, while other teams are more intense and more confrontational. Which of the two is more conducive, do you think, to winning?
I think you can win either way, Kevin, but it depends on the personality of your team. As long as everyone respects each other, plays hard, holds one another accountable, you can do that and still have fun at the same time.
Now here's Howard, following the miss by Lewis Williams. Parsons passes to Howard. And oh, he just jams it right over Paul Millsap. What a play. He has a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
Yeah,
wow.
That could very well be a contender for Dunk of the Year, and perhaps might make its way all over the internet.
I'm with you, Clark. That's a crowd pleaser if I've ever seen one.
Houston shooting their 5th free throw of the game here.
Well, you know, guys, the Houston fans could be forgiven for not having heard of Umir Ashik when the Rockets signed him as their starting center a season ago. He was a second-round pick out of Turkey in '08. Backup in Chicago, but he's quickly shown himself to be a key piece of this promising young core.
Now here is Horford. Back to Teague. Feeds to Millsap. Dishes to Williams. Passes it to Court. A three-pointer, no good. And you have to give the Rockets credit for going after Ashik, a player who never averaged more than 15 minutes a game with Chicago, a restricted free agent with the Bulls, and became a very important part for the Rockets.
Well, they clearly saw something special with Ashik. He's a great rebounder and defender, uses his body, understands angles, and plays that verticality really well as a defensive center.
Well, you watch the way Parsons moves, and you see how quickly he's able to shift and change direction. And you forget that Chandler Parsons is 6'10", because he moves like a much smaller guy. He's a terrific all-around player.
Elton Brand's checked in for the Hawks. And back to Parsons. Clark, he talked about his mobility, a good defender too, and for a young player that's rare. So you look at his size, ability to move his feet, and the upside certainly is there. Then you put him with a guy like Kevin McHale as his coach, and nice array of talent. He's in a good situation.
He does. He's got a bright future, and I'm most impressed with his defense. You talk about a lot of his skills, but Houston will frequently put him on the opponent's best wing offensive player.
And the Rockets making a change here. Smith has checked in. It's tipped. Stolen by Brand. And now here comes Williams leading the break. Here's Teague. The shot misses. Good D by Harden.
And that'll increase their rebound advantage. They've definitely been winning that battle on the board.
Well, the main thing is they haven't allowed many second chance opportunities. And that is always going to allow you to maintain your lead.
You know, despite a bit of an apathetic fan base, the Hawks always seem to be pretty good at home. Won 25 of 41 last year and had a 44-38 overall record.
And here's Harden following the three from Korver. There's the three, and James Harden with the three. Harden's got 5 points now in the quarter.
How about the response? Retaliation. Impressive, huh, guys?
I'll say exactly that as well. Nice job to recover those 3 points right away.
Here is Korver. Back to Teague. There's the feed to Korver. 5 to shoot. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got 3 assists now in this one. Nobody really seems to talk about it, Clark, but the Hawks have been absolutely dynamite here at home over the last half-decade. Steve, as a visitor, you know this. Very tough to get wins here.
That's why they call it the highlight factor, Kevin. I mean, this place can get rocking, and you think about some of the talent they've had here the last few years with Josh Smith, who's now in Detroit, but Al Horford, Jeff Teague, a lot of exciting players.
Korver. Outside Williams. No good on the triple.
More often than not today, those shots have not dropped for him.
Parsons with it, picked up by Teague. Wasted no time on that one. 7 points for Chandler Parsons.
They've had the hotter hand in the first half so far, no question.
Yeah, it's because of all the high percentage shots they've been working for and getting.
Howard with the steal. And now Parsons pushing it up. No one back to stop him. And a moment here to take a look at some hustle stats for the Rockets.
Boy, their hounding, harassing efforts at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And another thing they're doing is really taking advantage of fast break opportunities, scoring some easy baskets.
Outside Teague, back to Williams. Horford sets a screen for Williams. And it's blocked by Harden.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
And Parsons gets it to go.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
Yeah, they have the defense on the run right now because every pass seems to have a purpose. They're getting great movement, great spacing, and they're really lining them up defensively.
Now here's Teague. He's got 9. Williams lets a floater go, and the officials call goaltending, so they'll avoid the basket.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
The Rockets making a switch here. Harden against Teague. The shot and game clock separated by 4. Kicks it to Korver. Rebound by Smith. Smith's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
I got him.
Now Harden. 12 points for him. And Parsons gets it to go. 6 seconds left in the third. Here's Schroeder. Can't connect. The 3 quarters of play all in the books. And this one all but over. And we're rolling here again with the 4th quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Atlanta's shooting just 34% from the floor. Back to Horford. Working on Howard. Millsap. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
You know, I love watching a guy like Paul Millsap play because he's so efficient in his movement, and he's crafty. He's able to score big numbers on guys much bigger than him.
And Millsap, not quite 6'8", but he's got everything else. A motor, skill level, and Steve IQ for the game.
Yeah, very well-rounded, and his wingspan really helps defensively. You know, he's led all power forwards in steals each of the last 3 seasons, so he really does a nice job defensively. Outstanding job there to absorb the contact and guide it in.
That's how you impose your will against the defender. He came to play. Houston found their way back into the playoffs last season, but really it wasn't because they were a tough team on the road. They only had 16 wins away from Houston last season.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Terrence Jones comes in for Dwight Howard. And it's Caspi in for James Harden. Now here's Jenkins. Plenty of daylight on that shot.
Oh, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
Rockets leading by 22. And Clark, as you were talking about, the Rockets weren't nearly as troublesome to teams last year when they found themselves in the away locker room. Mostly, Steve, it came down to their offense not having quite as much punch.
Well, most teams don't score as much on the road as they do at home, but for the Rockets, 5 points differential between home and away, it's pretty dramatic. And I think that was one of the reasons why we saw them struggle when they left Houston and tried to get a win.
So it's Atlanta now. After the missed three from Caspi, the shot's good from Schroeder.
With the success they've been having from the three-point line since halftime, I'll bet you that scoreboard starts to look a lot different real soon.
Of course, they have to stay hot, but if they do, I think you're right, Clark, particularly if they can convert defense into offense.
The Hawks trail by 19. The kick out to Scott. Now the pass to Carroll. It's rebounded by Caspi.
I'll tell you what, folks, I bet he won't miss that shot next time he takes it.
But they get it back. Outside, Jones. And that one is stuck right through.
Fantastic dunk, and he decided to hang around up there for a while, Kevin.
Well, maybe, he didn't want to land awkwardly. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it was a safety move.
Or maybe he just wanted to give the photographers a better angle for the shot.
Atlanta calls timeout. Houston making a switch here. Atlanta's gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the fourth quarter. From deep three-point range.
And I think the work on the boards has been a big key for their success in this game, guys.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, it's been total control on the boards for him.
Caspi dishes to Garcia. Pass to Beverly. Clock at 6. It's three-pointers off the mark. The Hawks trail by 21. Here's Jenkins. He dishes it to Carroll. Pass to Horford. The Hawks working the ball around. Carroll kicks to Teague. Right side Teague. Millsap left side. No good. The Rockets go the other way with it. Earlier in the game, they held a 25-point lead. He kicks to Caspi. Shoots the three. And the shot is good.
His eyes were wide open there, guys. Excellent vision to see they had an open shot outside and get it there.
Teague gets a screen from Millsap. He feeds it to Jenkins. Teague. He passes to Jenkins. Back to Teague. And stolen by Parsons. Pushing it up. Now the dish to Garcia. Feeds to Caspi. No good from outside. Hawks have gone just 33% from the field in the fourth quarter so far. They are 2 of 6. Back to Teague. Dishes it to Carroll. No one near him. And Jenkins kicks to Teague. We've got 1:55 left in the fourth quarter. Passes it to Horford. Shot to stop the drought. Gets it to go.
Such a difficult shot to defend, that turnaround.
Rockets leading by 22. Here's Beverly. Teague covering. Beverly the pass to Caspi. Down to 5 on the shot clock. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
The Hawks made the playoffs again, but ended up losing in the first round to the Pacers in 6 games. Dropped the first 2 in Indiana, won the next 2 in Atlanta, but it all ended when the Pacers got them in Game 6.
Smith checked in for Chandler Parsons. Well, and for the Hawks, it's been 6 consecutive seasons with basically this group. Certainly Joe Johnson left as a free agent to Brooklyn. But, Steve, they have yet to get past the second round in any of those playoff runs.
I think that's why they decided to part ways with Josh Smith and originally with Joe Johnson 2 seasons ago, just to make that next step, to start fresh. And they may take a dip here, but I think that the future does look bright.
Gets the bucket.
Despite his ineffectiveness, the team has found other scoring options, which you have to have when one of your main guys is struggling.
Here's the screen. Here's Jenkins. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back.
He had a whole lot of space to get that shot off.
Yeah, I don't think the defender did a good job there of getting over the top of the screen.
Here's Beverly, defended by Schroeder. It's stolen by Jenkins.
And nothing you can do to salvage this one at this point. Game over.
Not anymore. Any chance they had is gone.
This run probably just a case of too little too late.
But at least they're still going after it and playing hard. It would have been very easy to throw in the towel a while ago.
Maniunas kicks to Beverly. And there's the feed to Maniunas. And an air ball on that one. Way off. So we see the Rockets taking the win here. Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
Yeah, sir.